Alright, so the topic for today is factoring using magic number. Okay? We're going to review with an example that we looked at last day. X squared plus 11x plus 24. And we're just going to factor that into the product of two binomials. This should be familiar by now. Okay? So what do? What am I looking for?
Greatest common factor.
Two numbers.
Yeah, always look for the greatest common factor first, but I don't have any.
Two numbers that can be multiplied to equal 24 and added to the 11.
Thank you. Multiply to equal 24, add to equal 11. Okay? So I think of the factor pairs of 24, I've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 4 and 6, 3 and 8. And clearly if I go 3 plus 8, I get 11. 3 times 8, I get 24. So that's going to work out nicely.
Magic.
Okay? So my first factor would be x plus 3. My other factor would be x plus 8. You can also go like this. You can go x plus 8 times x plus 3. That's the same thing. Whenever you FOIL either of these, you'll still get where we started. Does that look familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because when nobody answered, I got a little scared. Today, we're going to look at a different method called magic number factoring, which is a method that my math teacher used. It's not actually a formal method in math, but it's just called that because it helps me remember what to do. When do we do this kind of factoring, normal factoring? Under what conditions? It had something to do with this coefficient here.
It's 1.
When it's 1, right? So we use normal factoring when a is 1. That's what goes in that blank there. Okay. In this section, we're going to learn about cases where a is not 1. And the method for factoring trinomials like that, where a is not 1, so it could be something like 2 or 5 or -3 or something like that. The method is a little more complicated. Okay? And it's known as magic number factoring. That's what goes in that blank there. Magic number factoring. Okay. The official name is called factoring by decomposition. And I'll tell you why they call that in a moment. But I like the magic number label better because it kind of helps me remember what to do. And as I mentioned earlier, I've tried to create a step-by-step process that will help you figure out what to do. I broke down each of the steps that are involved in this method into, I guess, 8. Got a little long after a while, but don't be intimidated. Okay, we're going to do lots of practice. I want to make sure you get this. You will have a step-by-step guide for each problem, okay, telling you what to do at each step. So I hope that things make sense in the next few minutes.